Perek Gibeon with Rabbi Yehuda Miller.
Okay, today's Wednesday. Somebody said it's important that we say the date. This way you know. Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Okay, so Malachim Perek Gibeon Pasgal. So the pasuk starts off, Vayischate Shlomo as Paroi, Melech Mitzrayim, Vayikach as Bas Paroi, Vevel al Ir David, as Ad Kaloisoi, Livnois as Beisoim, as Beis Hashem, as Choimas Yushalayim Sov. What does that mean? So Shlomo HaMelech goes ahead and he marries the daughter of Paroi, and he brings her to Ir David, and until he finished building his house and the house of Hashem and the walls of Yerushalayim, and then as Rashi explains, and then afterwards he built the house for her. The pshat is that he felt that it wasn't proper that she should live in the same place that the Aron was, on a permanent basis. So therefore he built her a separate house. Okay, so there's a lot going on over here. Like, what's pshat? First of all, what's pshat that Shlomo HaMelech marries Bas Paroi? I mean, so obviously, first thing is the most first say that he's Megayer. So the problem was there was a time of that we were not with complicated, because the time of Shlomo, it was so much peace in the world that we weren't taking Gerim, because people were coming Gerim because they wanted to be part of Klal Yisrael, just because it was good times. There is a problem, just to mention a lot of different issues and situations here. There is an issue that for the first 3 generations you can't marry in. So the question is, how do you marry into Mitzrayim? How do you marry Bas Paroi?
Was it 3 generations already?
No.
3 generations from the first game.
Right. So let's say I think it means when he's Megayer, right? So when he's Megayer, he can't right away. Right. Now anyway, so he marries Bas Paroi. Now why did he do it for? So we know Shlomo HaMelech has 700 wives. And his idea was he wanted to marry into all the nations of the world, because Shlomo HaMelech ruled over the Kol Olam, as we'll have today. Shlomo was the Melech and Kol of the whole world. And one of the ways of getting that is by marrying in. So he did it for 2 reasons. First reason, it was militarily, that for protection. He wanted to protect Eretz Yisrael. And the way he'll protect Eretz Yisrael is he figured it was by marrying. First he started with Mitzrayim, which is nectar. So little by little, he married all the nations. So for 2 reasons. First of all, from a militarily perspective, and the other one is he was trying to almost bring them back. I guess the idea was, if he brings them back, he'll kind of almost like, he wanted to bring Mashiach, in a sense. The problem is that, the Gemara says on this, that the day that he married Bas Paroi, the Malach Gabriel came and took a kana and put it in the Yam, and we know from there, Rome was started. Like the first mud started coming little by little, and made it like a little peninsula. And as Elbaz pointed out, Rome is a peninsula today, because it came from Gabriel putting in the water, putting in this stick. So now, but
to go to Rome also.
Right, we have to go to Rome. But what's the significance? The significance is that Rome went ahead and it was destroyed the Beis Hamikdash. So when you think you're doing something good, sometimes other things come out from it. There's a lot of midrashim. There's Medrash Yeshim on this. I won't go so deeply into, but this was a big time about Etzem on Shlomo. What he did, and the idea of marrying Bas Paroi was not one of his greatest, wasn't one of the greatest accomplishments. Anyways, but the idea was, he did it, the intention was he wanted to make security in Eretz Yisrael, and the idea also was
All the nations.
Yeah, he was trying to bring the Gula. Anyways, the one shot was the way he brings the Gula was this direction, meaning he first needed to go ahead and to have. It has to go in that direction. First, you think you're going ahead and you're bringing the Gula through by something. Go really bad, it ended up getting the other way around. Had to go first, had to go and then literally to Chor Beis Hamikdash in order to come back the other way. Anyways, okay, right to the pasuk. Pasuk base. Raka is now. So he goes ahead and he marries her. Now, Raka is mizbachim b'omais. Ki lo nivna bayis l'shem Hashem ad hayom mahem. So right. So in those days, no one. Okay. So in the times of Shiloi, we knew that there were no bamas, but in those days, being that Shiloi wasn't around anymore, you were allowed to bring bamas. But David Melech himself didn't bring on bamas, but Shlomo did, and that's what the pasuk says. Shlomo as Hashem lechad v'chugas David aviv, but rak bamas whom mizbeach market. In other words, normally, like we just said, when you bring a carbon, you have to bring it on mizbeach. I mean that's like Bisman is that. But in the time now, the Zman had the bamas was after Shiloi. But David Melech himself was makbar on that, but Shlomo was not makbar on that thing. So And that's what it says. The Yosh Shlomo as Hashem Melechas B'chukas David Avi filed away, but with Rak Bamas Mizbeach Makter. But Bamas he did bring. Okay, now.
He himself, or he didn't stop others?
I think he himself. That's the best way I learned it. He himself.
This is not Gibeon.
Oh, one second. But it's not giving you a lot of big Bamas. It was just when Sheila was around, I believe.
Between Sheila and Lev Gibeon.
The way I understand it was that during Shiloh we said that no one's allowed to bring it, but afterwards by Noiv and by Gibeon, my understanding was that no, that's what it's saying. It's saying is Shlomo HaMelech, he himself, I believe. I don't know. You know what? We'll take it offline and we'll debate that. Anyways, but even though he did it, still the Yelech HaMelech Gibeon Lizbech Sham. So Shlomo HaMelech went to Gibeon, and he went to.
No.
Today, after Yomi started Kachem.
No, but this is why this not that.
Okay.
This is just my vast ideas of nice.
Okay, I'll say it.
When they came to Noiv and Gibeon, the Bamus were all mutter.
Okay. Okay, so no. So Shlomo HaMelech did it, but David himself was machbet. But anyways. Okay. So now what happens is Shlomo HaMelech wants to go to thank Hashem for everything, and he decides he's going to Gibeon. So like we said, at that time the Mishkan was in Gibeon, which was right before the big Beis Hamikdash. Again, it started in Shiloh, then Noiv, then Gibeon, and now we're by Gibeon. So now normally he did it in Yerushalayim, but now he wants to go make a big deal in Gibeon. Why Gibeon? So because Gibeon had the Bama Gedolah. What's Bama Gedolah? That means because Gibeon had the Zbech and the Choshes, and that was it didn't have the Aron in Gibeon because we know the Aron was in Yerushalayim, but he wanted to do a special carbon. He wanted to bring in special carbonas. He wanted to bring in Gibeon. No. So we'll see in a second. So the reason why he did it, did Rashi say it? He did it. He wanted to thank Hashem for they became the Melech, and he was all. We'll see in a minute. And as Vayelech HaMelech Gibeon, Lizbech Sham Kibam Gedolah. That's why he went special to Gibeon, and he brought Elef Oilas Yala Shlomo. He brought 1,000 carbonas on Mizbech. And that. Okay. Rashi says it means that one day. He did it all one day. Now, yes.
A lot of food.
Now.
Highlights.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Gibeon near Hashem El Shlomo B'Chalem Alayla. Yomi Malachim Shal Ma Etin Bach. So that night he goes to sleep and he's in Gibeon and he has a dream. Hashem comes to him in a dream that says, "Ask whatever you want and I'll give it to you." Okay. Yomi Shlomo Ata Asisa in Mavdecha David Avi Chesed Gadol. So Shlomo said to Hashem like this: "You did a lot of Chesed to my father David. Kasher Halach Lefanecha Be'emes, Tzedakah B'Yishras Leva Imach." You went in right in the B'Yishras Lev, but Tishma Loi as a Chesed Gadol Hazeh, and you were Tishma the Chesed Gadol Hazeh, which means that you. In other words, he's saying is that the nevuah of Nasa Navi that Shlomo will be the next Melech. So you watched, in other words, and you mekayim that nevuah. Va'ata, and therefore Va'ata Hashem Lekai Ata Mlachtas Avdecha Tachas David Avi, and you made me you gave me the Malachas. I'm a little boy. So what does that mean? I'm a little boy. So either we said he's 12 years old, or there's another chesed in the Barbanel that he learns that Batsmi was 20 years old when he became the Melech. So which means now it's about 4 years later. So either he was 16 now, or maybe he was 24, according to the cheshbon. Because it took 4 years until he built the Beis Hamikdash. And right now it's right before the big Beis Hamikdash, so it's approximately 4 years in. And he says, and Shlomo is telling Hashem, I don't really know what to do. Like I'm a little kid, and what I want is he's essentially to say he wants chachma. So again, so he's sleeping in Gibeon after bringing all these kabbalas to thank Hashem, and suddenly he has a dream, and in the dream Hashem says, "Ask what you want." So he tells Hashem, "Listen, I don't know much, but I'm not sure what to do. I'm still young." And he's saying that the Klal Yisrael is a lot of people, and I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how to judge the people. So again, I'll read the lashon. They're a tremendous number. I want a heart to be able to know how to judge to judge Klal. What does that mean? So he's saying is the way Rashi learns it. He's saying that since there's so many people, and so the Yesh Lahem Masik around, there's a lot of going back and forth, and I don't have time to go and to down them correctly. So and the thing like this, if you're a guy, it's okay, so you made a mistake in the judgment, but the problem is by a yid, if you judge him incorrectly, you get punished. So Shlomo HaMelech is saying, look, I don't want to be the liability of judging Klal so wrong. It's a tremendous responsibility. And Shlomo basically saying is he wants to have the lave to understand and to know how to judge and to make the right quick decision and to be able to down up quickly and make it happen. Okay. Hashem was very happy that Shlomo showed mental maturity. You have to realize he's a young boy and he didn't ask for malcha, he didn't ask for to be rich, he didn't ask for all a long life. What did he ask for? To be intelligent. So that's a mental maturity. So Hashem was very happy that Shlomo is very happy now. You didn't ask for Yom Rabbim. Most people say, no, I want to be rich. You didn't ask for that. You didn't say that you want, to get rid of your enemies. You wanted simple. You want to understand how to judge. That's all you wanted. And therefore, I'm going to give you more. Not only I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you what you wanted. I'm going to give you chachma. In other words, you're going to be the smartest person that there was never before, never like you, even afterwards. You're going to be smart. And now, that you didn't ask for. Now not only I'm going to give you what you asked for, I'm going to give you what you didn't ask for. So I'm going to give you Aisher and Kavod. Now, what's the kasha?
No, my question is he didn't live a long life. He only lived till 52. And it says here, the pasuk before by Yud Aleph, that he should have asked for Yomim Rabbim.
He should have asked.
But now it's not giving him what he didn't ask
Great
for.
question. So Zog Rashi.
That's what I mean to ask.
So Rashi asked you a question, but I'm going to first explain. So first of all, again, so just what happened first? What happened was he has a dream and he says, yes, what you want. And what does he ask for? I want chachma. Now Hashem says, since you asked for chachma, you didn't ask for.
I'll give you all the other things.
Well, you didn't ask for what?
You didn't ask
Rich,
to live long.
Okay, long life.
And you
Covenant, I'm giving you two. He didn't say he's giving him Merichas Yom. So Rashi explains why. But before we get to Rashi, I just want to get to another pasuk because it could be it's tied together. So pasuk Yudalad, the im teilch yeah, what was Yudalad? Okay. If you follow my way, so now, if you go ahead and you follow my ways and you follow the mishmar, then I'll give you a Richas Yom. So Rashi explains. So when it comes to Aisha and Kavod, it could give you. But it comes to Richas Yom and also the longevity of the Malchus, that is tied if you follow in the ways of Hashem. So Hashem didn't promise him that. Well, hold on, we're going to see what happens to Shlomo, but I'm not talking about that yet. But the point was that Chachma, I'll give you, no problem. Aisha, Kavod, I'll give you. But when it comes to Richas Yomim and Malchus, which means longevity of the Malchus, that I already told you. That it says in the Torah. The ability to sort mitzvah. In other words, you follow the mitzvahs, you get that. So that I can't promise you. That's something that's earned.
So that means he didn't do it.
We'll see. I don't know yet what happened. Right now, we're the beginning of the story. Okay. Right now, the beginning of the story. Okay. Right in the pasuk Tezvav. Shlomo wakes up. He realizes this is all a dream. Now, what does he do? He goes to Yishalayim. He brings more kabbanas. He makes a tremendous party. He's so excited. And what happens? So Rashi explains that when he says that he saw the dream, right? What happens? He comes outside and suddenly he hears the birds chirping, and he understood the language. And then he sees the things, the dogs, and he hears them barking. He understood the language. So Shlomo realized that he suddenly got chachma. He knew what's going on. He was so excited about it. What did he do? He made a party. And the Gemara says, Rabbi Elazar brings down from he has the makar, we make a siyum. when someone goes down and learns Torah, acquires chachma, you finish a sefer, you finish something, then you make a big party. And this is where it comes from. It comes from Shlomo HaMelech. Okay. Okay, it's brought down in the Shir Shem Rabbah. Okay, right there. Now, okay, so now that Shlomo is a chacham and he got it all, now is the famous story, or the first story that comes to him with the two babies. Okay, let's see what happens. Pasuk Yizayim. Okay, all tiv neshtei nashim zaynos, two zaynos means two innkeeper ladies. They came al Melech, they stood before the Melech and they had a child. You have to realize those days the Melech's job was to dan. That was the main responsibility of the Melech. Okay. I told my Isha Achad one says, "Bi Adoni, my master, Aniya Isha Azois, Yesheves Bebeis Echad." Me and this lady, we live in one house. And what? The Eled Ima Bebayis, and she what? And she gave birth in the house. The Hiba Yama Shlishi led us a lot of tea. The Taylor the Gama Isha Azois. So then 3 days later, the second lady gave birth. We're together. Ein Zari Tanu Bebayis, Zulasi Shtei Anachnu Bebayis. Okay, so there's no one else in the house. It's us two women. We both gave birth to children. One gave birth today, and one gave birth 3 days later. Okay. I don't know.
They were called.
I think they were on business trips, and they weren't around. See, I think it's saying that because if there's anyone else around, then maybe one of them killed them, maybe something happened. But just us in the house. Okay. They're probably in the, what do you call that? That house where the ladies go? They went to one of those houses, maybe.
They were Uman.
They were Uman, okay. Okay, what happened?
What else?
Okay, so now, what? So now, Yomis ben Isha Azois Laila. Okay, so she says that one of them died and he laid on him. And what happened? Bataka Mesecha Laila, and she got middle of the night. But Tigach as Bnei Etzi took my live child, the Mascha Yishena while I was sleeping. And she put it inside of her, in her lap, whatever, her possum. And she took the dead child and put it in me. Because she didn't want the dead child, right? And I woke up in the morning, I want to nurse my child. I see my child's dead. Yeah. So what I do, as bunny, I love a biker, and then in the morning I looked around, and I realized, this is not my child. I looked at the child, I realized, it's not mine. There was a change in the child, right? There was a switch. And who else did it? Obviously, there's no one else around. It was her. By the time she says, it's not. The other lady says, now what happened? My child is the one. His child, her child died. And she said, no. Each one saying, my child's alive one, yours the dead one. The one saying, it's going back and forth.
Just look at the wristband.
Oh, very good. Okay, so now, Yomi HaMelech. So Shlomo HaMelech says, Zoi Semeres. This is what we got. So again, he's repeating it. Zoi Semeres, Zeh B'nei Achai, U'ben Chameis, Zoi Semeres, Loi, Ki Ben Chameis, U'bnei Achai. He's saying, he's repeating it. And the Rishami brings down from here, we see the idea that a dayan has to repeat both snadim before they pass it. Because you see, Shlomo HaMelech, he went ahead and he repeated each side. Exactly. It's to make it clear. It's also that both sides understand, and before we pass, we want to make 100% clarity. Okay. Yomi HaMelech. So Shlomo says, "Chuli cher, bring me a sword." They brought a sword to Shlomo. Yomi HaMelech, Zok Shlomo, Gizu as a yeled, Achai l'shnayim. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this child in half. Okay. Okay. We're going to take the large child. Give half to one mother and half to the other. That's it. That's a good solution, right?
Split it.
Seems like a good psak, we have in Shas. So now the woman whose child really was the live child, she tells the Melech, she had so much achmanis on her child. She didn't want to see. She knew it was her child. She didn't want to see her child die now, because what's the point? She said, please. Give her the live child, and don't kill him, please. And the other one said, no, neither of us should have the live one. We should kill the baby. So then Shlomo said, give her the live child, and don't kill him. And then the Bas still came out of Shemayim and said, this is the right mother, because the real mother will have a chmanis on the child. And now,
The mother won't care.
all she wanted is the other one shouldn't have the live child.
Right.
Because she lost the child. The child's dead.
Jealousy.
Right, but she was so jealous. She
She would have won that whole day.
She didn't care the child's dead.
didn't want her to have the live child. She wanted both to be dead.
Correct.
But Yishmu, Kol Yisrael, it's a mishpah, Shashaf HaMelech, Vayiru Fnei HaMelech. Everyone heard this amazing psak. And they became Vayiru Fnei HaMelech, Ki Ro, Ki So, Ki Chachmas Alikim, Bekevi Lasas HaMishpat. They saw the Chachma that Shlomo HaMelech had, and this is just one of the many, many stories we're going to have of Shlomo HaMelech and how of the Chachma that he had, and that concludes today's shiur. Okay, it's all right.